All right.
And we are back.
We're back.
Mics are on. Green light is on. Yeah.
Y'all want to take a guess at how many times we tried to start this episode? Anybody want to guess?
Well, drop the comment below and let us know.
If you can guess, you get what?
Yes. If you can guess how many times we try to restart and film this, you will get already a line. The codex to remembering infinity for free. DM me in Instagram. That's at I am Coach Apparicio on Instagram, and I will send you a free book if you can comment how many times. I was going to call you JJ. How many times Jason and I have tried to restart this episode for you? We are a little bit out of touch, but I don't want to say out of touch. What would that be? Out of sync a little bit. A little bit, but
we're a little rusty. That's what we're trying to say.
Yes, that's what it is. We're a little rusty saying that we're rusty.
To the point we're dropping the books and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Let's not drop the book.
Is it this one?
Something like that.
I think it's it.
Guess how many times the book might drop in this episode?
Get another book. Give a book to give to a friend.
And speaking of friends, man, we want to touch base with our friends with another regularly scheduled DeProgrammed, because I'm Jason Roberts, aka Conquest.
And I'm Arianna Apparicio, aka Coach Apparicio.
Welcome to your DeProgrammed podcast. I know it's been a while. It's great to be back.
Absolutely.
We never want to leave you guys waiting too long. Absolutely. But you know, we got a lot to catch up on. But before we get to that, because that's a whole other episode in itself, we want to jump into something that we, in our private time, in our various conversations, we kind of discuss whether on purpose or we fall into it or it just happens to come up. But we need to dedicate not just an episode, but literally a series about it. Because if you go on social media, it's all over the place. It doesn't have necessarily a defined name, but I think we have a defined name. I think we've come up with it. You know what I'm saying? And Ari, would you mind letting the people know what the episode part 1 is and what the series is going to entail?
Yes. So as some of you, if not all of you might be aware, there's a huge cultural movement or shift or energy that is basically men versus women. And what it basically is targeting are the emotional feelings, the emotional implications of what it is to be in relationships, friendships, business, partnerships, et cetera, with the opposite sex. And a lot of topics have come up in this, whether it be if we need each other anymore, men and women, if we should cohabitate, if we should marry, if marriage is a dying breed or not. And it goes from a range of different problems, different ideologies, different philosophies. And it's just been a trending topic for God knows how long. It's been a long time coming that we talk about this. Like Jason said, we find ourselves going into one of these conversations, I would say once a week. At least once a week. Because there's always something regarding someone's sentiment towards the opposite sex, how people feel about their own sex. So we are going to make this a segment on the show. And I think there's so much material that we can dive into regarding men versus women. But we're going to put it as men versus women ? Which is our play coming from DeProgrammed podcast, because Jason and I have our own sentiment, our own opinion about what we think this actual versus really is between the sexes.
Right.
We can have a discussion from you guys. You guys can chime in, obviously. Let us know your opinions again. But yeah, just keep it respectful, always. And you can voice however you feel and however you think.
Now listen, I'm going to do my best with this chair because I know it's been creaking and we got the mics. So in the first couple of minutes of this thing, I don't know how it's going to sound. I apologize. I'm probably going to put a caption throughout this whole thing saying, creaking is happening from now until this time.
Or we can say the chair agrees.
The chair agrees with us.
Abba and Preach have the squeaking floor. Shout out to Abba and Preach. Their floor be squeaking with them.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to do my best, because sometimes I shift and it's not doing.
So we didn't steal their brand, but they have the squeaking floor. We have the squeaking chair.
We have the squeaking chair, in my case.
Yeah,
right?
it'll probably say a couple things.
Right.
We'll probably just hand it the mic. Chair. I agree.
That's agreed, right?
Yes.
So with that said, we're going to get into it. And the one thing that we want to hone in on this particular segment of men versus women, in terms of discussing that dynamic, I think we want to explore the relationship dynamic.
Yes.
The romantic relationship dynamic that could either be boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance,
wife and husband, and friends with benefits.
Situationships. Maybe, and I swear I hate this term, but maybe the baby mama, baby father drama.
Yeah,
we may have to throw that in there too.
But I think this is a worthy segment. It's like you said, we're going to compartmentalize it and break it down into the series. So men versus women, segment 1 of this series will be relationships, men versus women. So where do we start?
Let's start where all things start when it comes to romantic relationships, right? Or potentially romantic relationships, right? And I think I'm glad you asked that, because I feel like I obviously know where to start, and I have some thoughts on that, right? Now, as someone who is newly single, in my case, right? And I know with me saying that might shock some of y'all there, and I will get to that at a later time. That information is coming. So, what? Yeah.
Follow on IG at Radical on Fire.
Yeah, I'm disseminating it all. So yeah, as a newly single person, right? So I have this running joke, right? What do I always say? What have I been saying for the last couple of days? In terms of relationships, what have I been saying recently?
I can't remember.
I got you. Relationships are cooked, right? Yeah, relationships are cooked, right?
Yes.
Now, is that an overarching feeling throughout? Of course not. But I think from what is perpetrated on social media, based on encounters or things I've seen, I think relationships are potentially cooked in this sense. There's a lack of authenticity and transparency, right? And I know as we get deeper in this conversation, not to jump ahead, I know that you have this thing, or this, I won't call it a standard, but you have this theory about the pros and cons of quote unquote settling. Right? Yes, so we're going to jump on that, right?
Absolutely.
But let's get with the authenticity and transparency part of it, right?
Okay.
So
do you want to tackle from the male perspective? I tackle from the female perspective, and then we sum it up or wrap it up with joint perspective.
Yeah.
What we agree on and what
we disagree on.
Yes.
That. Cool.
Perfect.
Love that.
That's a perfect. Yeah.
That's not as formal as we usually do it, y'all, but
Yeah. We're gonna do it like that because it's men versus women. I think we could literally draw the line.
Yeah.
We not friends right now. I got a battle for my species. My species are extinct. We're on the brink of extinction.
All right, cool.
You guys ruin everything.
Here's the thing, right? Wow. Okay.
Don't men ruin everything. No, I'm kidding. We love it. And there goes my coaching card.
There you go.
Let's pull out the window. She hates men. No, I love men. I got children. I love men. I got a son. I got a boyfriend. Yeah. I love men until I got brothers. Right. I love my men. But Charlie Sheen men. Yes, you like Charlie Sheen. It was like a sitcom. I can't remember what it's called. Put in the comments what that show was called.
2.5 Men?
Yes, there you go. 2.5 Men. He tried to play it cool like he didn't know.
I just never heard the men. I've never heard that.
You never heard the men?
I don't think so. I think
Just keep in mind, rein it in.
I think when it came to 2.5 Men, I always caught those episodes while in progress. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of
the
2.5 Men again at the beginning. I don't think I've ever.
That's an iconic sitcom song.
Yeah, it's classic. But I don't think, for some reason, I've ever watched it from the beginning.
But I can do men. Okay, where do we go with this? Okay, so we go back to transparency and accountability. Take 2.
Meditate. Yo. All right, cool. So let's get to it. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to make a blanket statement. This is not all women. So the thing that I've noticed in certain cases is that there may be women who may be looking for a serious relationship, who may say, hey, I would like to be in a serious relationship with someone.
Okay.
Right? Or I'm interested in finding myself not being single by the end of the year, by a certain time, by a certain age, and whatnot, right? What I find is that when you talk to some of these women, they may not have that desire, or rather, they may have that desire, but they may not necessarily be ready for what it would take to avail themselves to be in a situation where they might be in a relationship with someone. Now, with me saying that, right, obviously, just like anyone, and that kind of crosses into the settling part, right?
Okay.
People, men and women, have their preferences. Yes. Men and women may choose a potential mate, a potential husband, a potential boyfriend, a potential significant other based on a multitude of things. I may be interested in someone because of the way they made me laugh, or the way they may make me feel, or how attractive they are, or what they got going on, or the job they have, or what does their faith walk like? Is that person a Christian or a Muslim just like me? Is he or she an atheist like me? Is that person an omnist like me? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of specifications that we would want out of a mate. Like oftentimes I would hear people, whether it's in a real or just a normal conversation, just say something to the effect of, hey, I need someone who checks all the boxes. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but yeah, checked all the boxes. Or she checked all the boxes. Or they'll have a wish list. It's like, that person gotta be this, gotta be this, gotta be this, gotta be this, gotta be this. And that's cool, right? What I find and what I've seen is that sometimes that person may not necessarily inform the other person who may be interested that he or she, well, in my case, that he doesn't check off the boxes, but they may enjoy the attention that that person gives them. It's like, yeah, that person may not really be my type, but I like the fact that he calls and he supports me, or he does things that you would love a person to do if you were interested in them, except that you're not interested in them. And that's where the transparency comes in.
So because friend zone.
Well, it's not even, you know how you said something to the effect of friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Right. Now, usually when you think of friends with benefits, friends with benefits often has to do with a sexual nature. Like, hey, this is the person who's my friend, or she's my friend, but I sleep with them every so often whenever we feel the mood. But I think that friends with benefits is much more expansive now, where it's like, hey, it's benefits of, hey, this person can take me out and show me a good time. Or this person is cool, we get to hang out, he'll take me out to eat. Or this person will, because of how much of a bank, they'll take me shopping. We'll probably never, oh, this is actually really great. This friend with benefit will be like, hey, this person will pay for me to travel and take me on trips. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so can I make a preference with something?
Yeah, and they'll make it clear, like, hey, I don't plan to sleep with you. Like, sometimes guys get in their arrogance and feel like, man, I paid for this trip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would at least think that maybe we could have some sort of intimacy, and the women may say, well, nah, I just came on the trip. You offered the trip, I took it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. But I think, as you say, friend zone, like, I don't have a problem being friend zone, right? Because again, I'm wise enough, understanding enough, and not arrogant to think that everybody's going to fall for me, right? I think the greatest or the
What do you think more men are?
Me personally, this is how I honestly feel. If I'm interested in someone and I make it known to that person and I'm clear and I'm intentional and I'm like, hey, being transparent about how I'm feeling, I'm shooting my shot, I'm making it clear that I'm truly interested in you, I don't want to date anyone else but you, I want to get to know you. It would be dope if that person would say how they feel either way. Even if it's an I don't know. So it's like, hey, I've been waiting for you to say something. I feel the same way. And then we can move on from there. Or it's like, Jason, that was really sweet. I really appreciate it. It's just that, hey, maybe you're not my type. I'm really not interested. You know what I'm saying? But if we can be friends, that would be cool. Fantastic. That doesn't hurt me. It might be a little disappointing because obviously you want to be with the person. Yeah, you want reciprocal. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I'd rather that than being under the impression that, hey, there could be something when there's absolutely not. And you need to read the tea leaves to recognize it, right? And then there's like the I don't know. It's like, hey, and the I don't knows could be, hey, I never thought of you that way, but maybe that's something we can maybe explore. I don't know. And you navigate it that way. But there's got to be some sort of like definitive thing so that the guy will now know how to move, how to approach, how to go forward. Now that's me. Now, some guys, and I can't speak for all guys, some guys might be like, the girl says, hey, I'm not interested. Some guys might be like, all right, cool, we can be friends. And in his mind, he's thinking, I'm gonna be friends to somehow sway you later. Like, I'm gonna make you, okay, you're not interested now, but if I come again and I apply pressure, you might be interested then. Da. And I know a lot of guys really are, man, how many times have I seen skits, reels, where the girl says, hey, I'm not interested. And it's like, okay, well, you're not looking for a friend?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a friend.
Absolutely.
I ain't got time to play those games. It's like, if you're not interested, I'm good.
Right.
If you come back around and be like, Jason, I've been thinking, I've been seeing, that's another conversation. But in the meantime, it's like, if you're not interested, we're friends. But I'm off the relationship thing. But I think, I don't know how many guys are like me. I know there's a lot of guys on the other spectrum, but I think for me, that's something that I've seen. And not only have I seen it, I've seen it perpetuated in social media by influencers, reels. I've seen people make comedy skits out of these things because it's a growing type of behavior where it's just like, hey, I'm not really feeling you, but if I could get something from you, I'd rather keep you on a string. Because I think men and women know when a person is a good guy or a good girl. They're just deciding if they want to make them their significant other or not.
And that's where the selling comes into play.
Yeah.
Let me lay the statement out, and then you can tell me your opinion on it.
Okay. Theory.
Relationships are failing, whether they be romantic or platonic, because the rise of narcissistic tendencies are happening.
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen that. And I think that the narcissism can come from a variety of ways. Where it's like...
So not classifying narcissism, but you can have narcissistic traits and not be a narcissist.
Right. And I think that can come off from multiple things, right? Guys, we're men, we're masculine, we're conquerors, we're hunters, we're all these things, right? So we rely heavy on the things that we feel can gain us ground, especially with the opposite sex. So if a guy feels or has been told that, hey, they're particularly good looking physically, they may expect that every woman is going to fall for them. And if that woman doesn't fall for them, they'll think that something is wrong with her.
Right, right.
So there's an entitlement there.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I'm me. I'm him.
Same with women.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right. So it could be a looks thing. It could be a money thing.
Yes.
Definitely a money, power, any type of prestige. You know, it's, I mean, shoot, we've had in recent months the purest example of narcissism you could think of with the Diddy case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about a multi-millionaire, near billionaire mogul in Sean Combs who pretty much lived his life with reckless abandon, you know, and pretty much had women and situations as beck and call. So, and the thing about that type of narcissism, that stuff, whether secretly or out in the open, is very captivating to other men. You know, like, hey, I want to be like that. So if men don't set the proper standard, everybody gets to follow. That's why it's sad to see an Aubrey Graham make music as a 38, 39, near 40-year-old that I wouldn't necessarily think is beneficial to the masculine race.
Right.
Because it just feeds into, again, narcissistic, victim-like tendencies, especially with how he addresses and how he thinks about and how he describes and considers women.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I could go on and on. I could name athletes, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who feels like women should just come to them, like Solomon in the Bible.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
A lot of people do not go around calling themselves narcissists, nor do they go around saying that they have narcissistic tendencies.
Never.
It is usually diagnosed by a third party.
Okay.
So this is what I observed. So the same thing with you when you say that men would think that they're the man because they have money or think they're the man because they have looks. You get the same thing in women now. Relationships to me are failing because no one is looking at how they're imperfect for somebody. Everyone is looking or basically presenting how they are perfect and then not even considering that they can be someone else's flaw. So what ends up...
that's a really interesting statement. You said they're not considering how they could be somebody else's flaw. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something that the other party might not entertain. So we're not looking at the things that we might improve and say, hey, listen, I even bring that, right? I bring the fact that I might not be the cleanliest. I bring the fact that I might not be the most organized. I bring the fact that I might not be the most comedic, right? I might be a little too serious.
That's all part of the transparency.
It is all a part of transparency, but the thing about transparency is that you can't be clear with something you don't know about yourself. So if you don't do the deep dive, this is where the narcissist
not know about yourself or even admit to yourself.
Right? So what ends up happening is that we are clear. I think if social media proves anything, we're probably a little clearer than what we should be, and we're a little bit more, out there than what we should be.
Right.
But we're not balancing it with a sense of humility that comes from you knowing the shadow side of yourself and accepting that part too.
Right.
And saying that when I go into the dating pool, I know the problems that I bring to the table as well. It's not that my life is completely clean. It's not that I haven't done things I'm not proud of. It's not things that, there might be problems from my past that might resurface sometimes. I'm dealing with internal problems, internal issues. Yeah. People are often saying when they come to the dating game that they're perfect. They're perfect at the table. Yep. This is what I bring. This is everything. And this is where the lack of success comes for me, because the lack of success now comes to how do you then be open to accepting anyone else's flaws about themselves when you don't admit you have any. So now it's, I'm perfect.
You're right now. You're hitting the nerve, Ari. You're taking me back a little bit.
So for women, what I've noticed, and a lot of my sisters and I talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Narcissism comes from a place of hurt. I've studied psychology for a while to kind of understand that narcissism is a way of protection, right? Because you're basically saying that if I don't admit anything's wrong with me, then no one else's opinions matter. Right. I won't allow someone to talk down on me, belittle me, anything like that. And I'm going to get off on other people by belittling them. Right. Demeaning them, devaluing them, because that is the only way I know how to stay on top. Probably because when I was younger, people demeaned me, devalued me. You're not going to be anything. You're not going to be successful.
Right.
You know, for Black and brown or impoverished people, that's often the thing that you hear because we still live in classism. So we often hear when we're poor, you're not going to amount to anything unless you're a basketball player, video vixen, or sometimes you have your parents who are more loving, say like, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer, you have to be these things, because then you're not going to amount to anything. Mm-hmm. So they're still saying the same thing, just on different spectrums. Mm-hmm. Narcissism comes out of all of that, or narcissistic tendencies come out of all that. Right. Because now you're telling children that they can be anything, but the balance is the hard work. And knowing that when you fail, that's also a part of who you are. Mm-hmm. You take everything with you. The failure is not to be dismissed. What we see in the dating pool right now is that when people come to the table, it's how everyone else failed, like their exes. Yeah. Oh, how my ex failed me, how my ex didn't do this right, what about you? What could you have improved on? What did you learn from your experience? And then tell me how you bring that forward. So failure to me in these relationships now buckles down to everyone basically thinking that they're perfect.
Yes.
But not understanding that there is no such thing as perfection. Mm-hmm. Your imperfection makes you perfect. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said, coming with the little things and the compromise, we're going to go into settling, right? Mm-hmm. So settling is a big thing between me and you. And the cheerists agree. It's a big thing between me and you because I, for one, I think that settling is actually a very mature thing to do. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's good or bad. I think it's just personal choice. Right. And I think once you settle, no one is to tell you that you aren't happy or you shouldn't be happy or you shouldn't be comfortable because it's your choice to do so. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I agree with settling, especially when it comes to, I would say on the women's side, is because narcissism makes it seem like you don't deserve settling for anyone. Mm-hmm. The thing with that is that everyone settles. You settle in life. You don't get everything you want in life. I think that's a very normal teaching. Yeah. But for us to say, oh, I'm not going to get everything I want in life, but then I want everything from my partner. It's contradictory. It's a contradictory statement. You're not going to get everything from your partner. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to put everything into your partner, right? Right. What do you want from your partner? Say the things that you want from them. Say the things that matter to you, but then also have the same list be equal on the I'm okay with that. Mm. And a lot of people don't have the I'm okay with that list. A lot of people don't. They'll be, okay, women, for example. I'll stick on women, right?
Break it down.
Okay. He could look ugly. He could be messy. Shoot, we won't say it out loud, but he could probably be disloyal if he got money.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
So all the stuff he can't be as long as he have money, right?
Money washes away everything.
Money washes away a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what happens at the end of those relationships? He treated me like an option. He didn't give me attention. He looked at other women. He was infidelitous because money was the only thing that mattered to you. So he spent all the money on you. Mm-hmm. But how did you not expect it to be treated like a possession of his when everything in his life is money?
Right.
And didn't you just say before y'all dated that you didn't care about how he looked, how he acted, his character, what he bought, how he smelled, how he lived? You didn't care about any of that stuff as long as he had money. Yep. A lot of people don't balance out the two. And again, narcissism or narcissistic tendencies tends to lean on, okay, if I bring everything, then he don't have to worry about nothing. I don't need nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, we need each other.
And here's the thing about that example you gave. Mm-hmm. You don't think the guy knows that guy know that you just want me for the money? So it's just like, hey, I don't have to give you, hey, as long as you're here, you want my money, all right, I'll take care of you. But anything else, I'll get from outside because you're not here for me with the other things. You're here for the money. I know that.
Yeah. But I'll tell you where men mess up. Mm. So this is where men mess up. You could agree or disagree. Okay. Men mess up. Okay. Knowing the only thing that attracted her was money. Yeah. But 40 years down the line, talk about you didn't love me. or being surprised, right? Ooh. Like, oh my gosh, like you didn't love me. And then she's saying like, I never loved you. Like this was never what this was.
You know what you just described? Mm-hmm. A pivotal plot point in Casino.
I never saw that movie.
Gotta see it. I know Henry recommends it. Yes. That is a major plot line between Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone's character.
Oh, okay.
He was frustrated, but he really should have known what it was. I think this is what it was. Again, another mistake that men make. He was thinking, okay, I'm going to bring her in with the money. I'm going to change her life. And in doing so, she's love him. Nah. Don't work like that.
Because we know, again,
it rarely works like that.
It rarely works like that. I would argue if it ever does, because the preference of that, the failure of, we can say anything, relationships, marriages, even friendship, the narcissism energy does not know masculine or feminine. Narcissism is bred from pain, which both men and women can feel.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is that because we both have our guards up, there's nobody willing to surrender. There's no one willing to say, hey, listen, like, I mean, how bad hasn't it gotten so far? We've seen men say, you know, F all women, they just an option. I have plenty of options. We don't need them. And then on vice versa, we have the same thing. We don't need men. We make our own money now. We don't need this. We don't need that. It becomes a very interesting statement, because we got here because men and women got together. So as much as people are saying we don't need each other, and I've heard both sexes say this, but you know, women, it's the we don't need men movement right now. So what ends up happening is that, yes, in a way you're saying that we don't need to be codependent on each other. Still argue with that a little bit, because men and women is the design of the creator, right? Like, so you definitely need the two sides, right? Even masculine and feminine energy are not one energy. It's two energies coming together. So even in that, it's a little bit of an argument. But we're in the we don't need men no more era. And in that, you see a lot of women who are still angry, who are still hurt, and who still do things for the attention of men. But then saying they don't need them.
Yeah.
It would be easier.
It's double speak, like you said.
It's double speak, exactly. Wouldn't it be easier for women to say, we do need men, we will not allow for you to treat us this way? That would be more of an accurate statement. Like, we do need you in our life. We do need you to make these societies, and we do need to move side by side with each other. However, we will no longer allow this.
I think what I've seen in certain women is the whole idea of, you gotta meet my standards, or I ain't got time for you type of thing, or maybe to be more specific, it's like, I can do bad all by myself.
Yeah, I will say this, and this is maybe another statement. So let's say narcissism, because we agree on that, right? Narcissistic tendencies, people saying that they're perfect coming to the table. We are masters of ourselves by the time we get there, even though to even speak like that shows that you're hurting. And that's a decline, right? We are now saying that we don't need each other because the other one doesn't fit the bill. Okay, cool. Society, or the dating pool, is like this because of men. Look at the camera.
Yeah, I think men have a major role to play in that. This is what I will say. I think that it's not fully men's responsibility, but they're largely responsible. I think they have a hefty role to play in it. Especially, I want to say, now obviously I haven't been here throughout the course of time, but from, you know how they always say what came first, the chicken or the egg? Right. I don't know who heard who first, but I've definitely seen women fall victim to a lot of hurt men, or men that act hurt, and then all of a sudden the script has been flipped on us. Like, and I think probably one of the biggest provocateurs, and one of the biggest examples of that is through hip hop and rap music. Okay. You know, when I got into hip hop and you know, when I got into hip hop, which I want to say was the mid to late 80s, you know, the way MCs and rappers spoke about women started to change once it got to the 90s. In the 80s, you know, rappers were more likely to take the lead to follow the LL Cool J example of I need love or girls is this and stuff. Women were spoken of in a more wholesome and a less objectified way. But by the time the 90s hit, and stuff like the gangster rap movement and certain other things that happened on the East Coast, women were talked about differently.
Right.
And probably not in the most flattering of terms, right?
More often than not in the most flattering terms.
Yeah, more often than not. And then maybe towards the 2000s, women decided, well, listen, if I'm going to be talked about this way, then I'm going to not only embody it, but I'm going to weaponize it and run it back at you. I think one of the biggest examples of that was the raps that Notorious B.I.G. and Lil' Kim used to trade back and forth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember a joint, I think it was on Life After Death. What do you do when your girl is untrue? You know what I'm saying? I need another baby. And they going back and forth. Battle of the Sexes, right?
That is a battle of the sexes.
So
we were just watching a public relationship, a public toxic relationship.
Right. Could that have been the first raps? Could that have been rap's first toxic relationship? Public.
I think so. Tupac wasn't that out there with his relationship.
Nah. He wasn't talking about his lady.
Was Dr. Dre talking about his wife yet? Okay, because that came in 2000.
The Barnes thing.
No, him and Eminem was going in on his wife and Dr. Dre's wife.
I mean,
when he said I'll stuff him in the trunk and this all that other type of stuff, that was forgot about Dre.
Forgot about Dre.
Yeah, they weren't him. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll help you bury her," and he was like, "Yeah, I'll help you pop her in the trunk," and we drive the car over. Look, they was going in. That's what I said. I don't know that. I honestly think that, like you said, I think that might be hip hop's first toxic.
One of the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I think so.
But it definitely set a trend though, because then people's relationships started coming out, and you just started seeing on full display. Yeah. Toxic relationship after toxic relationship.
So art imitating life, life imitating art. One of those, and then you just started to see that was kind of like par for the course. Yeah. And I think it just started to reflect more and more between Black and brown people, and it just careened into where we are now. And what's weird about it is that even though that became a predominant cultural chaotic point, there was always the hope and search for Black love, and when Black love seemed to appear, oh, we got champion Black love, oh, Will and Jada Black love.
Let me see how those things turn out.
Right. Whoever was at the time, Black love. But meanwhile, we are professionally a stereotype that ain't got nothing to do with Black love. You know what I'm saying? To the point that Tyler Perry is making a mile high set of movies and series about that.
You know how I feel about him.
Right.
And again, it's not me. Again, let Tyler have all the accolades and accomplishments that he has done for himself. Great job. But man, that damage is too much for me.
Yes.
But I will say something to echo your point.
Yeah. Thank
you for being one of the few men I've heard to say that this is majority men's fault, but I'll go into more historical details as to why.
Okay.
So I know the feminists are gonna like me. You won't like me for too long though, because I'm gonna get on you in a second. But we have been a patriarchy for the last, I would say, 2,000 years. Okay. Somewhere around that. What I mean by patriarchy means that either male dominated, meaning you, the male human, or masculine energy dominated, which means outward action, physical action, logical thinking over emotional thinking. That has been the energy, I would say, on the planet for for a while, at least in the West. When men say, hey, listen, we don't understand why women are acting like this. We're going to go back to the 50s, 40s, and 30s, right? And I think our grandparents did a very good job with not letting us know the chaos or the hurt that they were in during the time. I think I showed you a fact the other day that actually surprised you, that in 1994, it was the first time it became illegal to hit your wife. Right. Yeah. So that's a fact. Look it up. It's one of those things to where, because men are dominant and still dominant on the planet, and what I mean by that, I mean in positions of power, we don't get told the true story as to what happens when too much masculine energy pushes down feminine energy. What you tend to get is a lot of people who end up being emotionally hurt but not knowing how to deal with the consequences because we haven't been taught how. All we know is physical. All we know is logical. For example, women now, right? Don't we come to the table like how you men used to say, or how men still say now, and you can agree with me or not, men say, oh, why she act like a man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm coming with money, but I don't need you to have a degree. I don't need you to have this and the third, but we come in like you. Is because for a long time, we've been under that energy. I'm not saying all men have catered to this.
Yeah.
But the masculine energy has been the physical and logical. And what did women start caring about more? Their looks, right? Masculine. People are caring more about their physical looks and what they can logically bring, not emotionally and not spiritually. Emotional and spiritual is ruled by feminine energy. Right. We are the feminine energy embodied. So if we are not in positions of power to teach emotion and spirit, who else is doing it? Right. Nobody. So when you see, again, relationships, and we're talking about the relationship dynamic, men have been, or masculine energy has been the reason why we're here. But I would argue, and this is where feminists are going to hate me, I don't think it's intentional. I don't think that men led the world here because they wanted women to feel this way. I think what ended up happening was that it's in your nature to one, conquer nature, which you have done in the physical era, right? You guys have, because of you, all of humanity has conquered nature. We are the apex predator. No species on this planet can come against a man or a woman or a child even. You give a child a gun, it could beat a tiger, right? So it's just like you've evened out the playing field. Not only that, logical as well. Men created AI, right? So now we're in the logical apex of that as well. So where now AI answers all the questions. You probably won't have to go to school in the next decade, without just asking AI, hey, listen, such and such, such and such. Yeah. Right? And people think that that's a bad thing, but what it's doing is that it's taking away the masculine energy and basically telling the masculine energy that it could relax. You have done your job. You have given us the height of what physical and logical energy looks like. Gotcha. But now you can retire. It is up for the feminine energy to kind of caress that energy, right? And say, no, we don't not need y'all. No, shut up and sit down. Not that. Because men will say, yo, shut up. No, we're not telling you shut up. But sit down. You've done an amazing job. We would not be here. We would not be where we are without you. I am living in a house. Meaning you are in a house built by men, right? How often do we go to sleep? We're praying people, but I pray every night before we go to sleep. But the roof can fall down anytime. This is the engineer of men, right? We have gotten here so far off the backs of men. We have to be grateful to men. But the problem with masculine energy is that you guys do not dominate the heart space or the spiritual space. So because of that, women are acting more like men because of the energy you put out with no counterbalance. And we kind of see that with all the hierarchies and all the governments we have now. We have a president. What the first lady doing? You know everything Donald Trump doing. You don't know nothing about Melania's doing. Nothing. Queen Elizabeth, you know some things about her, I guess, sometimes. I think she's actually one of the few female monarchs in the world, actually. Most prime ministers are what? Men. Most positions of Congress and advisory are what? Men. Most businesses are ran by who? Men. You see what I'm saying? Marketing is ran by who? Men. So you're still getting a very male-centric narrative, but it's because outward energy is masculine. To produce is masculine. To receive and to interpret is feminine, right? So now if you're sitting here and you're saying, okay, we've been in the patriarchy for the last 2,000 years, we're just exiting out of it. What men and women need to do better of. Women are hurting. And I don't think that men understand how much they hurt women. I don't expect you to know how much you hurt women because that's our space, right? We control that space. It's a space that we control. It's a space that society, even in knowing we control it, tells us what? We are disciplined in it. Women or little girls are allowed to what? Feel the way that they feel. And you guys have to respect the way that we feel the way we feel. But you guys don't let us teach you how to feel. Okay, so pin that for a second. Yeah, of course. Going back to what I originally started with the whole idea of I don't want to use the word deception, that feels very strong. But in terms of the first meeting, when it first starts, when two people are communicating in each other's circumference, in each other's space, and then one person obviously has interest in the other, but that person may or may not be forthright about how they really feel and kind of goes with the situation as they see fit.
where, based on everything you just told us, where does that tie in? Where does that come from? Where do you find that's a result of?
As of right now, today?
Yeah.
Again, I think that women, before we get into relationships, we are the anchors of emotional stability in a relationship. And I'll say what I mean by this.
Mm-hmm.
By the time women get into a relationship, they should be the emotional foundation. What that means is if a man gets angry, you should be able to know how to calm him down. You should be the one more at peace. You should be the one that when things are chaotic outside, you know how to keep peace and love inside your house. And it could be your house, again, feminism, I know. It could be the two of you houses. It doesn't matter. The property, whatever, the acres of land.
The home you share.
The home you share. The home you cohabitate in. Situationship, whatever. Women are the emotional foundation. So when men get upset and men get angry and they get sad and all this type of stuff, we are there to what? Comfort you. Because we are the emotional foundations. When women are not emotionally stable, it does a lot more wreckage to a relationship because a relationship is we date logically now, but all of us want to date emotionally. Does that make sense there?
I do. You do.
So a lot of us will sit here and say, it's almost like we date like robots now, right? Like, this is my checklist. And if you don't meet this, and how are you doing? And and it's just like, okay, whack, boring. And then we wonder why that relationship's also failed because you're boring and you're not doing anything fun or sporadic. You're just like, well, he brings me this and she brings me that. And that's the end of the interview. How y'all met? Plenty of fish. And it's just like, okay, no.
No connection.
Because everything is so robotic. Everything is logical. What can you do for me? What can I get for you? It's a give and take. It's data. If you ever look at input output, that is what you're looking at right now in the dating pool. It's a T-chart. Just put a T-chart and just, you know what? Put Pong. You ever remember Pong? We think, and I'm just moving. I'm moving my wall. You're moving yours. We're just doing that, right? There's no excitement. Everyone knows that the only reason why we play Pong is because it was the only game on the phone. On the BlackBerry back in the day. Ain't nobody like that game for real. That game is so boring. No one has ever gone back to Pong since. We have Call of Duty and we have Pac-Man. Right. We have never went back to Pong ever. We date logically, but we want to date emotionally. When women are hurting, which is the product of masculine energy being so rampant and being so dominant for so long, we don't get that. Because the one person or the female embodiment that would give that to you has not taught you. And we are wrecked ourselves. So then when you're sitting here just like, she doesn't give me any love at home, doesn't it feel a lot worse? It's like because men are expected to go out in the world, right? Like you're expected to do the work. Let's just say you're traditional, right? And you're expected to go out into the world and work and you get all the heckle and people call you ugly and retarded and all this other type of stuff. And you're just like, But when she comes home, she's telling you the same thing. Why does it hurt from her more? Because you would be like, wow, if there's anyone who's supposed to emotionally ground me, and live and love my potential of me and love me for what I can be, it's supposed to be you. Right. But if I'm damaged, and I'm talking about from a female, if I'm damaged, what's my love? Because a feminine love is potential. It's seeing the unseen. It's knowing the unknown. It's looking ahead, right? So it's just like, wow, if I'm damaged, I don't see potential. I see the same retard and idiot and narcissist and all this other stuff that people are coming in with me with. You're not getting any difference outside the home or inside the home. So
as a woman who speaks to other women all the time, do you think women nowadays are moving more logically or emotionally?
Logically, for sure. We again, but that is the product of masculine energy. Or overabundance of it. There's no balance to it. And you say that very well when we talked about hip-hop in one of the episodes, right? You said there's no balance between the ratchet music and the logical music, right? The thing that makes us seem intellectual. Yes. There's none of that. It's the same thing I would argue here. There's no balance between logical dating and emotional dating. It's almost like emotional dating has become irrelevant, which is why you see marriages failing. Yeah. In fact, a lot of marriage divorces are happening now because men are just figuring out that if you treat a woman like a transaction, she will treat you like a transaction, right? It's like something that, like, if you let women teach you, any one of your women friends could have told you, she don't love you, right? Like, like you have to believe your women friends, though, right? Like, you know that she's just using you for money. You know that, right? Oh, y'all don't know what she's talking about. She's fantastic on thirds. Like, she can play that game for 30 years. You don't know what you're really saying. Like, again, Marriage to us was the masculine energy you gave us, which was survival. Marriage to us was survival. Even our marriages back then was a masculine relationship.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It was all about survival and how do I get to the next generation. There was no love in it.
My legacy together.
What's the love in that? Loving is just liking you.
I actually saw that recently, when it came to. I saw a post where the person talked about marrying this person and getting with this person because I need to find someone who I can build my legacy with. And
there's a lot of that.
The thing is, I get that part of it. I'm not saying no to it. The part I'm having a problem with is that I'm saying no to that being all of it.
Yes, absolutely, because legacy is just a part of it. By the time someone mentions legacy to me, whether it be women or men now, because women, again, are more masculine now, so they even talk about legacy a lot now. I'm like, your legacy is what you have been up to this point. You already have legacy. Because you have reputation, right? It's not like you were born the second we started talking.
Right.
In someone else's mind that you've encountered, you left an impression. You can't take that away.
Yeah.
So let's just say you pass away, God forbid.
Right.
God forbid you knock out, have a heart attack. What were you saying at your funeral? Is that not legacy?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when I met her at Walmart, she was nasty and she asked me for $5 over change.
Legacy.
Legacy. When I met him, he was the kindest man and he smiled at me. I was nervous, but he came up and said, I think you look beautiful for today. I just wanted someone to let you know that. I wanted to be one of the first people to let you know that today. Legacy. Or he's a creep. He was looking at me through the bushes and I had to call the cops.
And he does that all the time.
Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Legacy. Because if you drop dead tomorrow, that's what people are going to be saying about it. You left an impression. You don't have to meet someone to make a legacy. You've already been living your legacy every day that God gives you another day. You're living for legacy. You're living for it. So when people say that, it's a logical thing again, right? When they're talking about legacy, they're talking about, I want to build something to where my future has this, or it's usually tied to children. Children and empire, business, and then you get what? Transactional. So you're only having kids to cement your future, to make sure you don't die? That's a whole nother human being you're making. They might forget you, Pops. just saying, they might forget about, especially if you're not a good one.
Yeah.
They're not going to know your name.
Right.
So it's just like, what was your legacy even when you made them? What's your legacy then? Also, tell me more about your dad. Never knew my dad. Legacy, right? They not lying. At the funeral, they said the same thing. In fact, in the funeral, they didn't even get up. We don't even know if they even made it to the funeral. They don't even know if they did the Ancestry.com.
We don't acknowledge that man.
Even that's a little better because that's a he who shall not be named. Right. We're talking about the person who never met. He could have been a milkman. He could have been the gardener. I don't know.
Never seen him. I ain't seen him. Never seen him.
So again, legacy for what? It's the logical, and I think, again, we're going to one of those things to where it's the narcissism, right? Mm-hmm. You're giving a barrier to a relationship that, number one, you don't want. You don't want anyone treating you like a logical thing in a relationship. That's why we got out of traditional marriages. Right. Dowry started to die. Mm-hmm. Payments for brides and grooms started to die. All that stuff started to die because we wanted to be treated more than just a transaction. Mm-hmm. Masculine energy has put value like that to men. So I'm gonna give you this statement and you let me know what you think. Men are dealing with depression now, the most that they've ever dealt with depression ever, because of the philosophy that men put on other men on what it is to be men.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think, and I think it's the same for women. I think women can find themselves depressed because of the expectation women place on women. Girl, you ain't married yet?
Very true.
You're a child, no kids? You 30-something, you ain't?
Yeah.
All these things, right?
And I have an answer for that, and you're not going to like it probably, but yes. I do agree with that, but I do know where that stems from.
Copy. So I think that could be a similar thing, because of what manhood is supposed to be looking like for people. But I just don't ever believe in certain things being painted with one simple brush, you know, like, yeah, but I can see how if you don't fit a certain stereotype of what a man's supposed to be, that somebody might feel away or feel inadequate in another place. And especially if it ties into how you're received by women, that can add to it too.
Okay.
You know? And in fact, depending on your success rate with women, it can reinforce that feeling. Well, it's like the only reason why you ain't getting whoever you want to get is because you're not fitting whatever. Perfect example. How they always say, what they say, nice guys finish last?
Which I always thought was a lie, but I get why people say it.
You know, because most men be like, nah, dude, you're supposed to be A. You know, like they'll say, yo, women like a-holes, or in this case, women like future. Toxicity.
Yeah.
You know, and in a lot of the cases, they're not wrong.
I think this goes into more how we're taught, like what we're taught to idolize in men, or the traits that we're taught to love in men. But most women I know are with the toxic guy trying to change the toxic guy. It's not like we love to stay in that environment. We are loving that man, hoping that our love will bring them out of that. That's what we hope. What most likely happens is that it doesn't happen, because that person, again, that man's emotional hurt did not come from the woman he's dating. It came from his past.
Or some women like certain things, like they'll pick and choose what they like and what they don't like. It's like, I want, if I'm walking down the block as a woman and some guy trying to holler that my guy threatens them for bodily harm.
Yeah.
It only doesn't get cute when he now starts to threaten me.
Yeah, but and to build on that, it's because of what we were taught men respect about men. You see what I'm saying? So it's like women, okay, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Who told men that they were only worth how much they brought home? Men or women?
I don't know.
Men. Men. So if men say, hey, listen, you're only worth what you are, like built, right? So that's the strength. That's the way that you guys compete. And you're only worth what you bring home in terms of family, which is resource, right? If you men are sitting here and saying, hey, listen, physical might doesn't matter. What you're bringing home now, we are now equal, right? Like they say, women are outpacing men more, whatever the case may be, out-earning men, right? How are men dealing with that philosophy change? How do you think they're dealing with it?
I'm sorry, this is not well.
The most depression we've ever seen, actually. In fact, the highest suicide rate in men we've ever known, period. Because the purpose that men gave men, they don't know how to retire from. They don't know how to sit their butts down and be like, hey, listen, you've done your job. So now you have what? You make, maybe this is a part of the economy as well, but eventually, because there's societies that have either been there or movies that have referenced it, there will be a time where currency, the way that we even exchange dollar for dollar, will not be a thing. We will live in more so a economic utopia, and that goes into globalization and global commerce and stuff like that. In fact, me and you kind of know that, right? Like, it's like you're a musical artist, right? You have listeners in the United States, but you also have listeners in Japan. That has never been, ever, right? So where people globally can hear you at the same time, we are global citizens now. So globalization is a thing that we are going to hit. It's not a matter of if, but when. If men are taking out their purpose of everything they've done for the world, right? Which means physical might is good. We're even now. Logical might, we can ask AI. If we ever want to figure out how to make it to Pluto, we can make it to Pluto. We just have to ask a robot, right? The robot will figure it out. What purpose now does men give men? What would you give you? Settle down. Which goes back to our first prompt, right? Settle down. Settle down. You're too hard on yourself.
She said that awful lot.
That's one of my taglines. You're too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. And let women now step into the role that the world is all pining for, which is what? Purpose. Emotional purpose. Love. It's not weak to love. Men just didn't know how to love from that space because y'all was too busy trying to make sure that we wasn't getting eaten by tigers and lions and hippos all day. Right. So it's just like, oh, we good now. We good. Didn't me you have the example? You and Henry had the example of the tiger coming in the house. What will happen?
Yeah, by Ari. She tried to reason with the tiger.
Listen. All I'm saying is that if I come out with that tiger being my pet, that is bad A. Tiger tamer. I'm not the first tiger tamer. But if that tiger came to the house and I came out, I was like, guys, it's safe. And you see the tiger just purring, I'm just saying like, oh yeah. What? Tigger meat. Tigger meat, Sylvia Marshall. I'm telling you. Because how do you even talk to animals? Yes, there's a physical component to it, but there's also an emotional component to it. How many times have we seen, okay, you laughing at me. How many times have we seen male trainers go like, yeah, I'm dominant. Yeah, this thing know better. And they'd be like, yeah, wait till you sleep. Mm-hmm. The minute the man go to sleep. And boxing gloves is all. I don't even know how tigers take off boxing gloves.
I saw some documentary where this killer whale was in the aquarium.
And memorize
training, doing all the tricks.
No, he was like, I had enough.
And started throwing homeboy or homegirl, unfortunately, up and down.
Yes, I'm telling you. Physical life for what? It's like you better love on me. You better understand. Again, abuse can happen in all forms. It can happen in all types of life.
Health day.
Well, I would argue emotional health day. It didn't feel loved at all. It was like, so my only purpose in life is to amuse you guys. That's it. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty free. It didn't work out for him. I'm pretty sure the will got him down.
I remember the conservatory.
Wait, he actually won the fight.
Nah.
He took him to court.
Park shut down. The program shut down. And he got moved. Because,
he probably the whale messiah.
Because you know what's on his side? I am a wild animal. It is my nature to do exactly what I did.
I'm actually surprised they did not put that whale down. I'm actually surprised at that. But
conservatory.
So I guess there is some happy endings. Again, that's emotional. I think one that case for that whale is that people put themselves in the emotional space of, if I was treated like this, how would I feel? Yeah, I started beating up some people too. So it worked out for the whale. Thank God it did. Sorry for the humans that it hurt. But males have been, again, in this place of dominant energy to where they give themselves a purpose, right? Because it's in your DNA. It's something that you can't stray away from, right?
Right.
You are the representation of masculine energy. You are meant to be physical dominant, and logical dominant. That's fine. The problem is thinking that you are only masculine and you don't have any femininity. Mm-hmm. Your femininity is your heart and your spirit, but it has to be taught from the embodiment of what emotion and spiritual is, which is us. Mm. And men won't surrender. They don't surrender. I think it's a really big thing that men need to start doing. Now, don't surrender to a woman who is hurt, because obviously she's not one worthy of surrendering to. Mm-hmm. But when you find a good woman who has healed from the pain you should understand she has, because she's coming from a male or masculine energy-led world to where her emotions were suppressed for a long time. The way she was treated and how she was devalued happened over thousands of years. We're not talking hundreds of years. We're talking beyond slavery. So when people, I think if people talk like that, they would understand how much trauma, because, right, we're Black and brown. So we often go back to slavery and say that we have PTSD. So imagine the woman having trauma thousands of years before that. Mm. You wouldn't look at her the same, right? It'd be like, wow, if anything, Black people should kind of be over their trauma by now, and women should still be okay with going through it, being angry, smashing stuff, being like, yeah, we don't need men, and men being like, they need us, but they just chilling. Like, they'll come around. Just think about it. If y'all just relax and settle down, you know how fast women be like, I can't stand you. You know I love you, girl.
Or as a loud, just try to do it. Pretend to argue. Complain about something.
I can't stand how that curtain is. I told you to get that curtain 2 days ago. You didn't get the curtain. You didn't close the window. And then the mosquitoes came in and bit up my leg. What you got to say for yourself? Don't look down. Look at me. Don't laugh. You laughing? Yeah, I am a little hungry. What you gonna feed me?
Anything you want.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I'm about to see what you're about to do. I was like, watch this dude take me to McDonald's. You might make the economy. I would get you root Chris, but right now we on Klarna.
Your Klarna is crazy.
That was great. But that is what it's like for a man to surrender to a woman and to understand. Again, it does take. Now, here's the thing that I will say. You see the way that you responded to me just now?
Yeah.
You have emotions and intelligence about you that most men don't have, which means that you allowed somewhere in your life for women to lead you in it. I don't know where. Maybe it came from your mom. Maybe it came from some other woman mentor or female mentor. But you allowed someone to discipline your emotions. That is why in a relationship, you can see someone being emotionally irregular and be the foundation for them. Be the one to calm things down. Be like, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. All right. It's all right. When you're done, I'll be here. It doesn't mean that person will appreciate it, but what it will do is that it puts you in the space now of being their emotional mentor. And there will be no mentor better than a healed woman when it comes to emotional and spiritual.
Right.
Come back to, again, the masculine energy. Men need to know that their purpose, it's kind of weird to say. It's not that your purpose is done.
Yeah.
But it can definitely take a back seat. We have wars that we shouldn't even be fighting right now.
Right.
It's wars for like ego. It's wars for ego.
In progress all the time.
It doesn't have to be in progress all the time.
You can shut up.
And I think there needs to be an understanding from men to understand how hurt women are. Mm-hmm. It's something that you guys might not understand, but for the men who got a little bit of emotional teaching, to lead the other men to say, hey, listen, your woman has been through more than what you could ever imagine. Again, hit them with the fact that 1994, it was the first time it became illegal to hit your wife.
Start there.
We have been under oppression for so long, and there is a thing to the feminist movement and us saying, and men coming along with us to live in the patriarchy, right? So feminists is why I said y'all gonna hate me for this, but it took men to say, hey, listen, we want to make you guys free. You're right? But I would argue it didn't come from a logical, from an emotional space. It wasn't like, oh, I can imagine being where you are. It came from a logical space of how we are in capitalism. Well, if the woman works and the woman gets it's beneficial. It's beneficial. It didn't come from emotional space. It's the same way how they know how we got freed as slaves. It didn't come from an emotional space. A lot of people was arguing that, but not the people in charge. It was just like, oh, slaves make more money. We tax them more. Free them. That's logical thinking. That is data, right? Men. There was not one woman in Congress that made the slaves go free. Not one. I don't think our votes mattered then. So only men freed slaves. And why they freed slaves? Because it made more sense economically. So men need to surrender. This is the way that they surrender. It does take people like you leading men in some type of hard space to say, hey, listen, you should understand why your woman's acting like this. But I already hear the women, yeah, girl. That does not mean you excuse our behavior. Because what I get on women about on this side is that because we are the emotional priestesses and we are the embodiment of the emotional and the spiritual, we are to be held more accountable. So when women start freaking out, you should be looking at them halfway crazier than when men freak out.
Because you should know better.
You've been, again, your whole life has been this energy. So even if it's been suppressed in the world, you still have it as your embodiment.
Right.
So it still looks weirder when women do it.
Yeah.
Because when men do it, y'all just think y'all in the gym, right? Like it's just like, let a man punch the wall. Right, let a man punch the wall. They're like, oh yeah, he just, venting. Let a woman punch the wall and do the same damage.
The hell?
She warded it up. Like it go automate to masculine. Like she could be the most feminine person, but let's just say she want to blow down the house. Let's just say she want to blow down the house. Let's just say she really start cracking stuff, breaking stuff. You ever wonder why Tyler Perry movies are so effective? Because it's the woman crash out. The woman crash out always looks worse. It's just like, yo, what's going on?
Janet Jackson, Why They Get Married, Part 2, scary.
And the way they did her makeup?
Any Wes Craven. Any, you know what I'm saying? Stephen King. Yo, that legit scared me in the movie theater. I was like, yo, what is wrong with her? That legitimately scared me.
She lost her child and she was losing her marriage. She knew she was losing her marriage. But she was trying to logically solve her marriage. Her marriage didn't need a logical solution, it needed an emotional solution.
You know, it's funny, sidebar. What's funny is what I read was that Janet used that role to grieve the loss of Michael.
Oh.
And that's why it was super raw.
Yes. I also heard that. Yeah. Yeah, I think he pass away like a couple weeks or something like that.
He passed it.
It was like recent. It was like recent to the role and stuff, and she used that part to grieve. Yep. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's nothing like a woman grieving. There's nothing like a woman in emotional turmoil. And that is why men are sitting here going like, what do we do? You guys are not expected to know what to do. Women need to heal ourselves. We have to be the ones to forgive. We have to be the ones to let go, not you. And again, women are going to hate me for that. Well, I've been forgave and I've been let go, and these people out here still doing the same thing. You got to forgive anyway. You got to do it anyway, period. Because how else do you expect the world to heal? You are the healer. You're the healer. Masculine is protection. We heal. If you're not healing the world, who is? And that's why I say it's the female responsibility. So yes, he might have hurt you. Yes, he might have abandoned his child. Yes, he might have did all this stuff that you think he whacked for. And I think even he know he whacked for. When it come down to it, because guess what? If they didn't think they was whack for, why they killing themselves? If they didn't think they was whack. Even they know deep down, even men know deep down, that they cared more that their father be home than getting bread. But they accepted that ideology because that's the life that we were in. That we were in the logical era. You're not worth nothing more than what you're bringing in. Period. Looks don't matter. What you think you are, Pretty Ricky? Everything was a tie to monetary value. Yeah. So, ask any man who didn't have their father, who basically their father was a career man, what would he have rather had? A man who worked forever. You never saw him. That means you also saw your mom crying. The times that she was alone, she can't cheat, right? Because that's even more blasphemous for women than it is for men. So she can't cheat. If she do cheat, what is the son and the daughter seeing? They see mom committing infidelity. Mm-hmm. They don't see all the emotional turmoil of the dad not being home. Mm-hmm. She eats that, right? Mm-hmm. And he comes home with checks. So he doesn't even come home. It's just, the lights are on and stuff like that. And you have to count on the woman or the mother to tell the kids, oh, dad is out there doing everything that he needs to do in order to make sure that these lights and stuff are on. Right. But there's no emotional fulfillment, which is what people want to date for. Nobody wants to date for transaction. Everybody wants to date for love. Mm-hmm. When it comes deep down to it, I have the argument just like, nah, I just want to get paid. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that goes. Because money cannot fill what the heart is looking for. It can't. There's no, what they say? Money can't buy you love. Buy you happiness. True love can bring. Oh, no, money can buy you love. Can buy you diamond rings. But money can buy your love. Can buy your love. Can never buy your love. Can buy your love. Can buy your love. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Like, money can buy. Look, I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah. So, yes, in agreement with you. Thank you for being one of the few men I've talked to say that men have imposed that on men. I just think that it's up to men to also say, as much as you want your women to surrender to you, understand your woman and surrender to her. Surrender to the woman in your community that you know are healed women, and ask them how to feel. You guys don't know how to feel. That is why we're in this thing right now. You have people who are the feelers, who are hurt, who are guarded now. We don't want to feel you guys no more. Man, bump you. We don't want to feel you, touch you, hug you, look at you, nothing. And then you are in your masculine going like, well, I never know how. I never knew how. So who teaches who out the box? That's why I said it's female responsibility. We have to get ourselves outside of it.
Okay, cool. So how about this? So with that being the case, given the whole history of stuff of that, when a man who at least has his emotional stuff together, approaches a woman that they're looking to not situationship, not friends with benefits, but I'm genuinely interested in you.
In love.
I'm in love.
You're interested in love, right?
You're interested in love.
So the man is.
Yes.
And the woman is what?
And we don't know. So what should she be going in expecting?
He has to vet trauma better. Y'all fall for your eyes a lot, but that's y'all energy. Y'all fall for physical a lot when dealing with healing and dealing with emotional trauma have nothing to do with how you look.
Nope.
In fact, most of the time, people are in the gym working out and stuff, especially for women, trying to mask all the work that needs to be done.
Inside.
Yep. Which is why you get a lot of pretty ugly women. Pretty ugly.
That's the thing.
Yes.
That is the thing.
Listen, my sisters know. There's gonna be some sisters that agree with me, and there's gonna be a lot of them like, no, girl, you an op. All right, that's fine.
People might trip, but all right. Who's a woman?
As you can see, I'm holding both sides accountable here. So, I mean, it's whatever. Right. People are allowed to have the perspective they want. So, people will misclip this. You already know this. People will sit here and trim it all down and cut it and cross it. It's fine. If a man is looking for love in a woman, I would say look at how she treats her community. Mm-hmm. I would say look at her deed without him. Mm-hmm. And that's how she treats him. So, and it is for men. For again, I don't knock y'all energy. I get it, but y'all got to start disciplining y'all physical more. Y'all be falling for some of us that be real characters just because she got a fat butt, and I'm just like, y'all need to stop doing that. Like, I don't know how y'all stop doing that because I'm not in the masculine energy with that.
See, it's a balance. It's really kind of like, all right, well, so my philosophy, and this is ran true for me from nearly the very beginning. I'm trying to think of. I always use Megan Good as an example because she's been a long time crush. I'm trying to use another example, but it's not coming to me right now. So we're just going to look Megan Good.
Okay.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
Celebrity.
No disrespect. So, did you hear about the situation where Megan Good was out with her new husband? I forgot the brother's name. Jonathan Majors. Mm-hmm. And they were taking the picture, and homeboy asked for her number in front of Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, she told me.
Right. Yeah. No disrespect, man. It's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah. But Megan Good, right?
As long as she didn't give it to him.
From all reports, no.
Okay, great. So then they both handled it well.
Great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Megan, right? If I have a Megan type, that Megan type, as beautiful as I think she is, turns ugly based on numerous things. Character, how she treats other people, just nasty, just that. The looks will dissipate real fast.
So you know what I'll tell you what the problem is with that? You guys have already slept with that woman.
Yes, in certain cases.
My brother, let's keep it real. Mm-hmm. In all cases, in 99.9% of cases, if she looks back, you're sleeping with her at least, and then all of a sudden her character comes to play after that.
Yeah, because they give you the sales pitch before.
But that game is nice. Mm-hmm. And that's the game that have you keep coming back. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, I can't stand her, but man, it's the way it...
Right. When you walk in, when you talk,
no, the symbols.
You remind me, yes you do, the way you dance. He's bringing me back.
To me. I need you in my life. Some keep telling me that everything gonna be alright. Everywhere I try to go,
no, it ain't gonna be alright.
Yeah, you were meant for me, so that means we gotta make it work. He said, before I get mad, let me shush and let me leave, because this shit right here, I don't need it.
Guys, if you guys heard a difference, we're talking through the camera and the air conditioner's on, just so that you guys do. Oh, but we just left off laughing at Chingy.
And Tyrese.
Calling me back. Calling me back. Yo, Therese was another one who was emotionally away. He was a little emotionally over there, but yeah. He's like, one more. Again, the vulnerability of a man, you have to appreciate it. What does the man do? Yeah, look at her work. And is up for men. And this is another statement that I think is very interesting. For a long time, women were blamed for if a man slept, right? Like they'll be like, oh, you are the access to sex, and he's the access to marriage, is what that whole dichotomy was. But I would argue that it would mean more for a man to discipline himself with who he sees and who he chooses as wife. Mm-hmm. And I would say that because, again, your nature is physical. So the most disciplined man is who? Someone who can see something pretty and not touch it. Mm-hmm. Someone who can see something beautiful and be like, that's not mine.
I think here's the thing, because it goes back to what I started with. I think a lot of times people will mistake how a woman is complimentary or invites you into their space or entertains you and think, oh, she's feeling me. Nah, you're just being nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's something I don't expect men to get. I don't expect men to
She's
get
just being a friend.
She's just being a friend. I told you, it takes the people who... You don't have to master your feminine energy in men. You just have to know it's there. You have to know that your feelings matter. You have to know that you have feelings to show. Mm-hmm. And you have to know that you want reciprocal feelings.
She called me on her vacation.
Okay. You just say hi. Yeah. It's one of those things, again, we weren't, again, coming out of a masculine-led world. Love, and I guess we can wrap up with this, love and how we are in relationships. The reason why relationships are a dying breed is because the people who are supposed to teach love in this world are not doing it.
Right.
We're too busy in pain. So I would say that for the men, when you are in love, or when you are looking for a relationship in love, look at how a woman loves her community.
Yes, I agree.
Look at how a woman loves herself. Mm-hmm. And it's also vice versa.
Or deals with people, period.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's vice versa as well.
Yeah.
If a woman wants love from a person, stop looking at his bank account and look at how he loves his community. He's not going to love the same way you love, but there is a physical representation of what love looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he's always checking up on his parents. He's maybe a teacher or a coach in a school. He might not have the most extravagant job, but it's because the money doesn't matter. That's actually a very big tell of that. Mm-hmm. Not the whole thing about living with your mom and being lazy. Like, not that thing. Mm-hmm. But, he's pretty comfortable. And he's like, oh, I only saw myself getting more money when I saw myself getting a family. Like, I'm not just going to store bread for me. Like, I wouldn't use it, right? So it's like, oh, no, like, I'm here. His friends talk about him, men and women. Yeah, and just how he loves all people. Like, just little things. Like, does he say hi when you guys check out of a grocery store? You know what I mean? Does he look to get you in the car and then run over to the homeless guy and just drop something by him before he runs in the car with you? You said just little things. Does he help put the cart back to help the guy who was pushing the carts in the parking lot? Mm-hmm. Little things, little gestures that you can pick up on, like, wow, this man really loves people. So that means he's capable. So now the only thing right, the only thing you guys are now coming down to, which we cannot fix because it's a universal character traits, is it's compatibility as well. Yeah. So like if you guys like the same things or not, but most of the time, if you can find that in a person, you'd be willing to know what you're selling for. Hmm. If you're just finding the love of a person, it's just like, oh no, there's no one's gonna love me like you. I know that. So everything else is irrelevant. How much money you make is irrelevant. You ever seen couples who go through homelessness together? Yeah. I talk about each other when you make it out.
I literally saw that the other day.
Because no one's gonna love me like you. So it's just like, I'm good. Like, what can the world give me that I don't have enough love to handle it? You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, we are missing that. So for people who are in love, whether it's men or women, look at how people love on, and you have to know what love is too, but I gave a couple suggestions. But yeah, look at how they love on the community and stuff. And I'm talking caveat, not social media. Everyone put whatever they want to look the best at in social media. I'm talking about when y'all get in person, when y'all go on a couple of dates, and you just see her smile at the waiters. Yeah. She gives generous tips. Yeah. She's talking with them. She's befriending them, men and women, because again, you can't be a jealous guy, and women, you can't be jealous either. Mm-hmm. If a waitress comes up and she's talking with your dude, and your dude is returning the conversation, he's not seeing her as a waitress. He's seeing that as another human being. Let the conversation unfold. Oh wow, such and such. Oh yeah, like I actually have a friend who does digital marketing. You said you want to get into that, and how he looks to help her. And it's just like, oh, he really cares about people. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to let these things play out, but people with insecurity is another thing. Insecurity stops with. So if it goes straight to jealousy,
Stops love, stops purpose. Insecurity stops purpose.
Absolutely, 100%. Granted, from you're looking for love. Definitely look for how people love on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how they treat other people. Because the way that they treat other people is how they want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a golden rule for a reason. What would you say, in wrapping this up, what would you say is the solution for people breaking up more? Or let's just say this. What do you think about men saying we don't need women and women saying we don't need men? Do you feel like that is pain or do you feel like that's true?
It's pain most of the time. There is such a saying. Human beings are human beings, man. That's why the world was created. If it was so much about a singular entity, we wouldn't have communities, we wouldn't have cities. People need each other. And you know when people really understand how they need each other? When things go wrong. When 9/11 happened, people needed each other. You know what I'm saying?
Tragedy.
Right. When the pandemic hit, people needed each other. When there was like civil unrest, people needed each other to rally with each other when we saw injustices. So there ain't no such thing as people not needing each other. It is very much the compound hurt on top of each other where it's like, it's really them saying, I don't want to be hurt again. Mm-hmm. So I don't need you in my life. I don't want to be hurt again. I can do bad all by myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's good all by yourself. Yes.
That's a question.
Yeah, so I think that is pretty much the long and short of that. People are hurt, therefore they will pretty much feel like, well, I'm gonna cut the whole thing off by the seams, right?
So what is your solution to that? And wrapping that up, how do you feel like we solve the dating, as you said at the start of this episode, dating sucks. So how do we uncook it?
How do we reverse engineer it?
Yeah.
I can speak for myself. And maybe it'll translate to more than one person. For me, you need to do a couple of things. Real self-reflection and real shit. Right? You know, we hear the term all the time, hurt people, hurt people. I believe that someone can jump back into dating or jump back into the dating pool way too soon because they might feel, yeah, I want this, but you're still not over the person you were with, not in the sense of like you want them back, but it's just like pain. The way they scarred you. Yeah. You know,
you didn't take the lessons.
You didn't take the lessons. And then it's a trauma bonding. Because what could happen is that you got a relationship with someone and then you end up dating the same person.
Because you're comfortable.
Because you're comfortable. Yeah. And it's recognizable. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a certain level of fortitude and also be egoless. Like, sometimes you have to step out of yourself and ask your friends, hey, am I dating the same person?
Absolutely.
Because again, you might be too close to it. Mm-hmm. If your face is pressed right up to this table, you're not seeing the whole
table. You think it's just brown.
Right. Mm-hmm. You're not seeing the cracks and crevices and nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's brown. Right. Mm-hmm. You might know the difference. Wait, am I facing the ground or am I facing the table?
Right.
Am I knocked out? Mm-hmm. Am I delusional? You know, but
like all the table.
Right. It's like a table. Right. So, but yeah, I think you have to really go through those things and be like really re-examine why the last thing didn't work. Yeah. And understand what their contribution was to it and what your contribution was to it. And then from there, you start to really think about the things that really matter, the things you really want, the thing that's really important to you. Yes. And then build from there. And also, to your point, stand up for yourself. Recognize what is wrong from the outset. And don't be afraid to lose that person. If something that they're doing, and I'm not talking about a superficial thing, matter of fact, as far as a fool, but if the woman looks drop dead gorgeous, but you know that person's controlling, let her go. Oh, man, I'm never going to find another one who look like her, man. She be doing me right and up. But she's controlling. Because she's telling you, or she's whatever. She's this, she's that. And it might be minor, quote unquote, at the time. But as you guys get more, as you guys cleave together, as the Bible says, loneliness is going to get bigger. Let it go. Because I think what it is that people don't want to be alone. And I think that's another thing too.
Yeah, we're biologically meant not to be alone.
Yeah.
So it's not, people don't want to be alone by biological trait of we are not meant to be. Like you said, the Most High would have just made one person.
Right.
But he didn't want us to, I think they didn't want us to experience loneliness. So that would be death.
Right. But as you said, right, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Yes,
right. You know, because you always say that. Yeah, because I'm not alone. I have friends. I have people I can hang out with. I can home. Right. Yeah.
Heal and grow, absolutely.
Right. But you might feel, hey, I feel loneliness in the sense of I am lonely in the sense that I miss companionship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's good. You know what I'm saying? I miss that. Yes. But I feel like
romantic.
Right. Yeah, romantic companionship, right? But I think it's worth it to go through the loneliness. And that's the thing that people have a hard time doing, especially when they've been accustomed to things, right? And it's just like, and I say this to you or anybody watching, because it's not always loneliness. It's not always easy, but it's just like, yo, I miss the feel of a woman in whatever way you want to categorize it. You know what I'm saying? I love our conversations. I love going through things and rushing to tell that person that, man, I did this. You want to check this out, see here, hear about Dear Day, whatever. You missed that. But it's like, it's worth being lonely to get what is ideally what God has for you, as opposed to, well, this was good enough, so I'm going to jump there.
Did I make a point?
Yeah.
It's very mature. And the way I heard it, you can tell me if I interpreted it wrong, is that there are certain things that are priorities to you over than just physical desire. That is mature because that is what men need to start hearing more. That, again, because you are the physical manifestation of the Creator, of the Most High, that is what men are. Your discipline comes from knowing that ish covered bone, as they say, is still fish. And what that means is that, yes, you can miss the feel, the touch, the how are you doing. But the thing that you're talking about, that's the foundation of that is love. You don't want any of that stuff because technically, again, we live in a world that men made. You don't buy that. Are we seeing all the divorces now? The men who bought those women, they bought their wives. They went into villages. They went into towns and was like, I want the best ones who can cook, clean, and this and the third, and I'll give them a house. And they whisked them away. Parents never heard of them again. We're talking like the 40s and 30s. This is not far. And he was abusive. Left them home. Had other families on the side. There was no type of emotional loyalty at all. Because God forbid, she do it to him. Remember, I can hit you up to 94. So I dare to find out that you shit on the gardener. I dare you. Triple dare you. It's now you are coming to a space to where, again, it's your emotional intelligence. You're becoming emotionally intelligent. So where now it's like, hey, listen, I might physically do these things that goes into either sexual drive, right? Sexual drive on men is a lot more than women. But what do they say about women? If you don't emotionally turn us on, we're not having sex with you. See? So it's just like, you got the discipline of the man is to take that energy and completely be in control of it. Meaning that if you miss the touch of a woman, understand that there's a feminine counterpart as to, okay, I made the walk and go and buy it. I can physically take it. So now you're looking at this world where, like you said, you're looking for the touch, the feel, the how are you, because you live in a masculine world where you can buy it or you can force it. And you're telling yourself there's something better than that. There's a foundation that's better than forcing it and buying it. What is that if not emotional intelligence? You don't want to have your partner be forced to be with you. Never. We're coming into that era. But men need to understand that they help them in that era. We are in the culmination of product of what that's like to be like, wow, we could force our way into anything or we can buy anything. Right. This is how I hold men and women accountable in my space, okay?
Oh, God.
So for women, I'm going to get on women first, okay? I'm going to get my sisters first.
Good.
Oh, girl, I just want a man who going to love me and be honest, not be a cheater, love on me, tell me I'm cute, and just provide. Don't be lazy. Like, you don't have to have all that, but, just be partners. Like, okay, cool. Don't. He butt ugly. And he had no money. Oh my God, girl, why are you speaking death into me? Why you jinxing my life? Why you cursing me? I'm not cursing you, I'm just saying. God always works.
Weird.
It's almost like God, and God is really funny. He will always see the box you put him in, and then challenge that box. I was like, don't you know who I am? You don't give me a box, I give you a box. You don't give me a box. I'll make whoever I make. Yes, the love of your life is a postal worker. Yes, he delivers your Amazon. Yes. Oh, girl, but you don't make more than 60,000. I'm looking for at least 100,000. He's a postal worker who delivers Amazon. He make like 55. Oh, well, I want him 6 foot. Keep 5'11". Do with it. But girl, my heels, I come to his eye level. You don't wear heels all the time. Let me find out. Now, men. Right? As I said, accountability, right? No, I just want someone who will hold me down. These women out here be trifling, sleeping with your best friend. I just want someone who's loyal. I want someone who will understand me for me, hold me down. Tell me, babe, it's gonna be okay. Rub my back every now and again. If I'm sitting there making the bread, she cooking dinner, and she making sure that the house is a home. You know what I'm saying? All right. She don't got no limbs.
No limbs.
Can I bring those things in with you? She 8'2".
This conversation, she said 7'2". She was a whole foot above.
And I'm just telling you guys, at 7'2", he was like, we got role play. He said, we're not doing this. He said, no.
I'm 6'4", by the way.
Yeah, he's tall. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine this woman looking down to him. Hey, babe, how's the weather down there? No, wait, what was it? Wait, what was the joke? I was like, oh, babe, I love you. Ooh, babe, my back. Wait, hold on. Babe, you know you got to stay on your tippy toes. You know you got to stay on your tippy toes when you kiss me. Chill out. Babe, cool. You know when I kiss you, you know we was at the gala. You know we was supposed to have that kiss shot. Babe, I was on my platforms. I wasn't wearing my friend's boots. I'm putting my head around your waist. I'm going just
God. Yo,
point proven.
oh God.
Point proven.
And with that said,
Okay, hold on. Summary, ending with this. Be realistic with your list. The cure to the dating crisis, I would say, in my field, is to be honest with yourself first. Everything starts with self.
Right.
Be honest with yourself, know yourself, and know your settlements. Know your settlements. You are no one's perfect version of their mate, and they're not a perfect version of anyone else's either. You guys have to know, everyone has to know what they can settle on, and stop giving your romantic partner every title. Your romantic partner could just be great at being your romantic partner.
That's it.
Period. We have friends, we have coworkers, we have business partners and who we do business with. We have all these things. Stop trying to make your partner everything. It's too much pressure and it's unrealistic. So, unrealistic. And alchemize your pain into love. Oof. For the people who hurt, alchemy is a real thing. It's basically taking the thing that you was given and transmuting it into something else. What we need to do more is alchemy. A lot of us need to take our pain, know that we would not want it for anyone else because we did not want it for ourselves. It's called pain for a reason.
Right.
We did not want it for ourselves, and most pain is not self-inflicted. So why give it? Alchemize that to then say, I want to love more. I want to love the person who hurt me so much that they don't hurt anyone else. Right. It's hard. but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. We hope that you enjoyed this segment, ladies and gentlemen. I think we tackled a lot of relationships.
I think so. I think so.
And so future episodes of this, or future segments of this men versus women, would look like business transactions, hierarchy, the matriarchy versus patriarchy, economy, who runs the economy right now, and what we're doing with that. And music, hip-hop, even the dichotomy there, and how we're seeing that. And yeah, we hope you enjoy the pilot episode of the segment. Let us know what you think about the conversation.
Yeah.
Leave all your sentiments and opinions in the comments below. Yeah. And we'll make sure to get back to you or ignore you, depending on what you're saying.
Thanks.
If you ever have me as a coach, not keep it real, we will ignore the things that just don't make sense.
Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yo,
But we'll try to get back to everyone, even with your control.
Facts.
Yes.
That's a fact. Hey, listen, make sure you like and subscribe. And, in addition to your comments, you know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell for new episodes, new things. We're trying to keep at a more consistent pace.
Yes.
But both of our lives have been insane.
Yes.
Me recording an album, doing shows, planning for more stuff before the year is out. Ari writing books, getting her coaching off the ground, being active in that space. So,
thank you to all that have supported, who have bought the book. Please, guys, it's 30 years of just me running through times and eras and cultures to basically say that we're all already aligned by design already. You just have to remember who we are. It's the sentiment that I not only gave to my community, but I feel like it's my purpose to drive home to remembrance of everyone. So if you resonate with anything that I'm saying, resonate with the conversation me and Jason had, then please feel free to buy this book. Again, it is a living framework. So there will be new editions. I am expounding on every theory and every concept that I wrote about, but it is my love. It is everything that I talk about, everything that I am, that I try to embody. And yeah, I think you all will really enjoy it. Thank you for sticking with us. We saw that our numbers grew on Instagram. Again, thank you guys for staying so loyal to us. Again, we're doing so many things. Like you can see, the stuff look even kind of new, right? We even trying new concept, the way that we, lighting, all this other stuff. So again, we just want to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for sticking with us and being one of the few. You guys are the original. Yeah. So as we start to transition, you guys will just see us start elevating. And you guys will be here from the beginning. And we will definitely show out some love to you guys. First 5 to comment on this video will get a free book already online. Of course, Untitled.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram. I'm at Flow on Fire, and you are
at I am Coach Apparicio. That's APPARICIO. At I am Coach Apparicio.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And of course, this is your DeProgrammed podcast on IG. So if you want to buy, give us your handles and we'll make you cancel.
Yes, and we will make it happen. I promise you guys you will not regret it. And until next time, I am Arianna Apparicio, aka Coach Apparicio.
This is Ari CONQUEST, aka Conquest, and this has been your DeProgrammed podcast. And until next time, stay tuned. Hopefully very soon for your next schedule.
Deprogramming. Every time I try to leave, something be pulling me back to where me. You wouldn't want to let. Every time I try to go, something keep telling me that everything. I'm lying.
Deep counsel.